Welcome everyone. Today we're diving into AI in tutoring, how it works, its benefits, and how we can use it effectively. Let's go ahead and start with some other learning objectives. We're going to define artificial intelligence and identify common AI tools used in education, explain the potential benefits and challenges of integrating AI into tutoring, and understanding DACC's AI guiding principles, ESP. What we'll be going over in this session is what is AI in education, DACC's guiding principles, hands-on exploration, and a self-practice activity. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's go ahead and start by defining AI in simple terms. Artificial intelligence, or AI, refers to technology that mimics human intelligence. It processes data, recognizes patterns, and makes predictions. AI powers tools we use every day, like virtual assistants such as Siri and Alexa, recommendation systems such as Netflix and Spotify, and even chatbots for customer service. In education, AI helps automate tasks, provide real-time tutoring, and supports learning in new ways. As we go through this session, think about how AI might fit into your tutoring practices. Now, let's explore how AI is already being used in education. AI tools are transforming tutoring by providing on-demand support and personalized learning experiences. Here are a few examples. ChatGPT acts as a virtual tutor, answering questions and explaining concepts. Grammarly assists with writing by checking grammar, clarity, and engagement. And AI-powered math solvers such as PhotoMath and Wolfram Alpha provide step-by-step explanations of math problems. These tools don't replace human tutors, but enhance what we do. They help students practice independently and receive instant feedback, making learning more accessible and efficient. DACC's AI guiding principles. At DACC, we inspire innovation, success, and community transformation while guiding the acceptable use and practices of artificial intelligence for excellence in teaching, learning, and professional development. We embrace, uphold, and expect the highest of ethics, safety, and privacy levels as our guiding principles. When it comes to ethics, we uphold practices in AI usage by ensuring equity, accountability, and fairness in all applications, striving to eliminate bias and empower inclusive innovation. When it comes to safety, we prioritize the safety of our students, faculty, and staff by ensuring the responsible implementation of AI tools and applications, minimizing risk and fostering a secure learning and working environment. Finally, when it comes to privacy, we are committed to protecting the privacy of all community members by safeguarding personal data, adhering to stringent confidentiality standards, and promoting transparency in AI usage. By keeping these principles in mind, we can integrate AI in ways that enhance tutoring while maintaining integrity and fairness. Hands-on exploration. Now let's test out some AI tools in action. First, I'll demonstrate how AI can assist in tutoring. I'll show examples of asking ChatGPT for explanations of complex topics, using Grammarly to improve a student's writing sample, and solving a math problem with an AI solver. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this. Starting with ChatGPT, we're going to go ahead and prompt it, explaining photosynthesis to a 10-year-old, and see what it comes up with. Let's go ahead and start with that. Explain photosynthesis to a Okay, and let's see what it comes up with. Sure, here's an easy way to understand photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is how plants make their own food, kind of like cooking, but instead of using a stove, they use sunlight. Here's how it works. Sunlight shines on the plant takes in carbon dioxide, a gas from the air, the roots soak up water from the ground, and then leaves mix the sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide and turn it into sugar, food for the plant, and oxygen, the clean air we breathe. So basically, sunlight plus water plus air equals plant food plus clean air. Pretty cool, right? Plants are like green little chefs that help feed themselves and help us breathe. So ask yourself, how could this help students struggling with science? We are all different, and we come from different environments, and we all learn in different ways. So how could this help a struggling student with science or with math, with history? You could ask it questions like this to explain it to you in a different format that you might be able to understand, or the student's able to understand in a better way. So for one of the practice problems, I would want you to go ahead and try another one. You can ask it to generate a 5-paragraph essay outline on climate change and see how it helps brainstorming and create a structure for you. And then ask yourself, what are the strengths and limitations of using AI for writing? All right, let's dive into Grammarly, an AI-powered writing assistant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test out Grammarly with a sample paragraph. I'm going to observe how it makes some suggestions and corrections, and we're just going to compare the free versus the premium features, which is basic grammar and spelling corrections for the free version, and the premium includes tone adjustments, clarity improvement, and plagiarism detection. So let's go ahead and try that out. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Grammarly, and there you go. So this is the free version, as you can see. What I'm going to do is go ahead and click on New Document. I have a blank canvas. So let me go ahead and put a little paragraph inside there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and paste this in there. And there you go. It's going to ask you to set goals. Get tailored writing suggestions based on your goals and audience, whether the audience is general, knowledgeable, or expert, their formality, which is informal, neutral, or formal, and your domain. If you want it general, if it's an email, it's something creative, something academic, you could gear it towards that way, but it is a Get Pro version. And the intent, do you want to inform? Do you want to describe? Do you want to convince? Do you want to tell a story? These are just some goals that you can set up with Grammarly. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and click Done, and that's fine as is. So as you can see, it's not giving me too many suggestions, which is good, right? I guess it's good for me. But it is giving me Pro 8 suggestions. Now, I don't have the Pro version, but what it is telling me that I should work on is 3 of my clarity, 2 of my punctuation, 1 on consciousness, and 2 in consistency and more. So that already tells me I do need to improve my writing, okay? As you can see right here in this little purple one, this purple area, says unsplit the infinitive to critically engage with and remove the phrase necessary. So these are 2 important suggestions that it's giving me. You should take them into consideration whenever you're working on your papers. So let's go ahead and go to correctness. We're going to dismiss this. Looks like that's okay. Clarity, dismiss. And as I can see, it's not really giving me anything else. And again, that's because I don't have the premium version, and I have been using this a little bit earlier. So that's probably why it's not giving me that option. But let's go ahead and let me teach you a little bit something about writing with generative AI inside of Grammarly. So let's say I have this sentence right here. Their study revealed that individuals with lower self-esteem were more likely to use social media frequently and to become emotionally invested in the content they viewed. Sounds pretty long. Let's go see what happens when I say to improve it. So I did improve it, and it said the study found that individuals with lower self-esteem tended to use social media more frequently and became emotionally invested in the content they engage with. I don't know about you guys, but that kind of sounds a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and click Insert. But before I do that, you do have these options as well. You can shorten it, you can make it assertive, or you can even do more by sounding confident, make it constructive, make it diplomatic. Based on these ideas, you can adjust your tone, and it will shift the way your paper is written and the flow of it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and insert that first version that I liked. And there you go. So now we see that it flows a little bit better, it makes a little bit more sense, and that's one way you can use Grammarly to improve your writing. Now let's check for plagiarism and AI usage. So it's not letting me do that at the moment, but it's something that you would want to consider if, of course, you're teaching and you want to make sure your students are not using AI to write all their papers. Then this is one way that you could do so. It will highlight the areas that are considered AI, and it'll tell you why. Okay. And my overall score is an 88. So as you can see, it breaks it down, breaks out my performance, 80 out of 100. I got a B+. The score represents the quality of writing in this document. You can increase it by addressing Grammarly suggestions. Of course, it's not giving me more suggestions just because at this time I have been using Grammarly. So I used up all my suggestions earlier today. Next, let's move into AI math solvers, such as Photomath or Wolfram Alpha. In this case, we're going to go ahead and test out Wolfram Alpha, and what we're going to do is input a complex equation into the solver and watch how it provides step-by-step solutions instead of just an answer. All right, let's go ahead and start doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use ChatGPT to help me out with creating this complex equation. So let's go ahead and start with ChatGPT, and I'm going to go ahead and tell it to give me a complex calculus equation or problem, I'm sorry. Okay, and I just asked it, can you give me a calc problem I can practice? And sure enough, here it is. Find the derivative of the function f of x equals 3x cubed minus 5x squared plus 2x minus 7. So let's go ahead and input that into Wolfram Alpha. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and highlight that, Control C, and I'm going to go ahead and open up Wolfram Alpha. And there you go. This is how it looks. This is the site where you can find this at. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit Control B to paste the problem, and I'm just going to hit Enter. Okay. And there you go. It broke it down to me in different steps. It gave me the input, it gave me the result, it gave me the geometric figure, the line, the plot in where it stands, the alternate form assuming x is real, the root, and the properties as a real function. The domain, which includes all real numbers, and the range, which includes all real numbers. And the derivative, the actual thing that I was looking for, right? And as you can see, it gives me a step-by-step solution. So if I click on this, it starts breaking it down a little bit. Find the derivative of the following via implicit differentiation. And there you go, it's inputted in there. And the derivative of f of x is, and as you can see, it starts pumping it out, but it's not going to give me everything. Why is that? Because it wants to get the premium version. Now, this is great to use just to get the idea going, just to kind of see where you might have lacked on or where the student might need that extra help. And breaking it down in steps this way helps you and the student understand what is being asked of these complex questions. So that's just one example of using Wolfram Alpha. Now, it does so much more than just that. In mathematics, it gives you step-by-step solutions. It works on anything from elementary math all the way to statistics. Same thing with science and technology. It goes from units and measures all the way to transportation, society and culture, from people to history and everyday life, personal health, household math, hobbies, today's world, and so much more. Now I'm going to ask you to try this yourself. Test one or more of the following tools on your device, whether it's ChatGPT, Grammarly, Photomath, Wolfram Alpha, or any other platform that you heard of that you want to explore on. And ask yourself these questions. Did AI provide a useful and accurate responses? What were the strengths and weaknesses of each tool? And how can these tools be used responsibly in education? To wrap up today's session, let's reflect on what we learned and prepare for our next discussion on effective prompting. For your self-practice activity, I want you to identify 3 AI tools that could support tutoring. Think about how they align with the principles of ethics, safety, and privacy. And for 2, I want you to summarize key takeaways from today. Think about how can AI enhance tutoring, and think about what are the potential challenges and how we can address them. And looking ahead to session 2, next time we'll focus on how to interact with AI effectively. The quality of AI responses depends on how we ask. We'll go ahead and explore the differences between open-ended and structured prompts, how to refine our questions to get better and more useful AI-generated responses. And by practicing with AI today, you've taken the first step towards leveraging it effectively in tutoring. Great work, and I'll see you in the next session.